MidMatchRant. We're back again to talk about more games that's happened. Lots of chaos. Lots of chaos. Where do
Lots.
we even start? Do we start with what the where we left off last week?
So I actually thought that before we get into the matches, I figured it would be a good idea to provide some insight for people about what we do,
Okay.
especially because last episode we talked about us being at college.
Yeah.
We skimmed over the fact that we do esports at our school. I feel like that's pretty important for validity and the fact that we do in fact
Study the game, watch.
study the game out quite a bit.
A little bit.
And
Just a bit of an
so-
oversight.
It's a big reason we watch the games is to get an understanding of what to do in each map, what to work on.
Right. So at our school, we have a esports program, and this esports program is pretty big, I would say. And Valorant happens to be one of them. I'm the captain of the Valorant team here. These are obviously
Few
players on the
players.
team. And we compete in a few leagues. We plan on competing in the official
Collegiate.
collegiate Valorant stuff when that comes out. That being said, what do you guys like to talk about? Just what you guys bring to the school. I think that's important to know.
We
Or like
bring
what you
to-
guys bring to the team.
When you bring to the team, I will play any smokes. I just fill. I just fill the smokes role. No one else is
Best
locked in that
smoker
jail.
NA.
I wish I was Marv.
Damn, got a little more confidence than that. I am a flex player at this point. I love Sentinels and Controllers though. Those are my top two agents. I'm working on being an IGL, but right now that's kind of a work in progress because I gotta get a better player.
I'll get there. I'll
We're,
get there.
we're getting there. We're not exactly the greatest team, but we are striving to be the best team that we can be. That's about all I can really ask for.
Improvement. That's the main goal.
Yeah. So I figured I just kind of wanted to get that out of the way, and I'm sure this conversation, excuse me, will come back around as we talk more and more about other things Valorant related versus something like this,
Yeah.
something like Champions going on.
This is just easy content.
Yeah, just easy stuff to talk about. Excuse me. That being said, you guys did Valorant pick'ems.
Yeah.
How are you guys feeling? Considering today's mess.
So
My pickums are in shambles.
So yes, most of our pickups are in shambles, but through one way or another, somehow I got the XI correct because I had the upset of crew being FPX. The moment I saw FPX win it, I thought that that group was just boomed. Somehow it wasn't.
Right.
I'd like to thank artists on Cypher for that. I will keep going back to this. Their upper on Pearl side Cypher.
Apparently, a tweet was made by I can't remember which member it
Angel.
was.
It was
Yeah.
Angel.
And they had gone out and said that for whatever reason, artists thought that Camber was unplayable on Breeze, and that they wanted to go Cypher a few weeks ago.
What?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that tweet as well, and it pains me.
Unplayable on Pro?
I mean,
On
Breeze.
Breeze.
I thought it was also pro.
I mean, the problem is that I don't think he's necessarily wrong. Let's think about where the meta is right now. Camber is good. I watched the stats breakdown literally last night. I lied. Watched stats breakdown of the first 4 days of Champions.
Mm-hmm.
Camber is not an 80% pick rate. Camber is at a 70% pick rate across all maps. Like the averages combined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is good. However, Camber is not an insta-lock on Breeze. We're seeing a lot more Cypher. My thought process behind that is Jet kind of does what Chamber does on Breeze a little bit better to an extent. He only has the one get out of jail free card unless you come up with two after you dash.
Yeah.
However, Jet has smokes, has the dash, has knives. Not having the pistol is kind of weird, but it makes for like a little cheaper agent. When you think of somebody like Cypher, cages, the camera. Nick brought up a good point, and who's a member on our team, and I don't know if you guys were listening to this, but the whole reason the meta is changing like this is because you can put Cypher stuff on B, and then go to A,
and then
Viper stuff on B, or Viper stuff on A, and then go to B, and then you're counterplaying the KO knife.
I can't remember who started that.
C9.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see any other team do it before C9 did.
Because Mitch liked playing Cypher.
Mitch literally played Cypher, and then they didn't have to ever worry about KO stopping them from doing something.
It was always just perfectly set up.
And then his lurks on A were always...
I mean, they were definitely ahead of the meta at that point. Like, I don't know how they predicted that KO needed to be hard countered here, but it's what it is. They figured it out. But that doesn't mean KO's not an insta-lock because you still clear short, or not short, but close on A. You still clear close on B, multiple angles with his knife or his knife and Soba Dart, whatever initiators you decide to go. The Cypher just makes it a little bit easier because now you can really play around that. You're not limited in your utility usage if KO decides that we're going to execute with an alt and a knife. Well, I get it. It makes sense. And having Jet just makes it a little bit easier. Plus, I think the cages are a nice little touch, especially on a Breeze only map, or not Breeze only, but a Viper only map.
Yeah.
With just the wall, the smokes and the cages give you a little extra utility. Yeah, just a little bit of something extra. But I think it's nice. Although you are losing chamber trip and chamber op every, let's assume 3 or 4 rounds. Well, really, who are you getting? You know.
I mean,
would you rather have the util and play around the characters that are causing you the most issues, or would you guys still rather see chamber on these, especially on Breeze?
So one thing I want to say is that I think from watching these games, it feels like a lot of teams forgot how to play against Cypher. We're seeing a lot of teams, like there's so many teams, like when Benkai pulled out on Haven, there's so many times people ran into the wire and then reacted like a chamber trip and tried to just avoid it. And then they just got sprayed through a wall. Like, I feel like that definitely helps. But for Breeze specifically, I don't know, it's difficult. But I think it's healthy that you can put in Cypher. I think that is very team dependent. But I think for the most cases, I think it depends on the team. If you want to hold down a site more, or if you want to take a lot more presence in mid. If you take more presence in mid on defense, you go with Jet.
Right.
Because knives, Eagle, whatever. Like, it's just that space taken so quickly from tunnel is too good. But if you're a team that's going to just play back and wait for them to fall into you, probably chamber, just for the fact of how easily it is for him to kill you.
Right.
Hard it is to catch him off guard. So it really depends on the team specifically. And I think that's healthy, or it's dependent. It's not one is a must pick.
Now, my only thing about this was, I think that Cypher was probably a good pick for them. Even if the Cypher didn't pop off.
For FPX?
I think that FPX's real issue lied with Sky.
Yeah. Because it's just like you could have the Sova or the KO, and they will both do her job better on this map.
I think Sky is never a good pick. I wish that she was. But again, when you think about the breakdown of how information is passed around on a map like Breeze, what do you see a lot of pro teams do default with their knife, especially on mid? Where does it go?
It goes right over door. It goes through walls.
Right over doors, right. So now you're scanning halls, you're scanning doors. Where else could it go in mid? It could hit
tunnel.
It could hit tunnel. It could hit B connector. It could hit elbow. It could hit A caves, close. It could be anywhere, and it's covering so many things on a three-dimensional plane. Like, what the fuck is Sky telling you? Nothing.
There's just a
And
person in that general vicinity.
Yeah, exactly.
If you flash behind pillar, it could be nest, it could be tunnel, it could be a bad flash in there at double doors, like an off angle for double doors.
And it's not like the flash is stopping you from doing anything. Most people know how to dodge Sky Flash these days.
Especially
And the
on
only reason
Breeze.
it's good on bind is because it's such close angles. You might as well blow it up in somebody's face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Breeze, it's also open that you're going to see the bird a mile away. Whatever you tell it's getting, it's useless.
Also, dog is just completely useless compared to drone because it has that cutoff range that you just can't see past anymore.
Exactly.
I'm not going to get, you're not getting it to half wall.
You're not getting it to half wall. You also can throw Sova drone on like right pyramid and it just goes up it, and then all of a sudden you have an angle where you can see them and they can't see your drone yet.
Yeah, I mean,
So Ryuto, I just feel like it's completely like compared to KO or Sova, her Ryuto is just kind of pointless.
I didn't even fully realize it was both teams not running Chamber on Breeze.
Yeah.
That just clicked.
Chamber, the Cypher pick isn't bad. I
No.
think Cypher is a great pick on Breeze. I think I've always said that. I mean, I also advocate for Cypher on Icebox, but that's because I'm a crackhead.
You're crazy for that one. You're absolutely nuts for that one.
Where does the trip go?
Yeah.
you throw that shit mid, you be hot back.
Okay.
Bruh.
Sure.
But
okay.
But really, I do think that Cypher isn't a bad pick. I just think Sky is definitely not the way to go on that map, and you're not able to help yourself with that pick.
A little bit of like courtesy to the Sky pick. It's definitely a base comp.
Yes.
Her base level to use is just so much easier than both of them, which in pro play I feel like you don't really care about, or you shouldn't. You're in pro, you're doing this shit every day. But it's just like, I remember looking at it, the base comp, Sky is in there just because she's so easy to use.
I don't know. I just like, I don't know if it's a thing where it's like comfortable or base comp. Like, I just don't get the value she brings. Like, maybe they thought that they were going to get counter-stratted by the Cypher, right? And the Cypher was going to cause KO to have a hard time. But like, I don't see how picking Sky over KO could have ever been the right choice.
I mean,
it just feels wrong.
Again, it wasn't their biggest blunder in character selects. That's all I'm gonna say. God damn that Pearl. I'm gonna keep going back to it, dude. It's so stupid. Like, oh, I didn't even want to watch that match. Oh, dude. And so, and what makes it worse is that the player playing it isn't like they were a Senti main, picked up the chamber and started popping off, or a duelist main. The only reason they play Senti is because chamber. Not gonna get the picks with Cypher.
There's no free TP here.
There's no free TP. There's no way for you to be selfish to get those picks. Like, you're playing an honest character. What duelist does that?
Phoenix.
Scream fanboy.
No, I think Phoenix is a cool agent. I think that he's the most honest agent. I remember when everybody was like, "Oh, Phoenix is so like strong with a run it back," and I was like, "Nobody gives a fuck."
Just run.
Literally, just run the other way or shoot him in the head.
It's simple. Just kill him.
Just shoot him.
Literally dead.
Now he might be getting his shields back after it.
And then our update
that might have already went through. I just remember hearing about it, and I don't play Phoenix enough to know.
My guy has 0.
I know nothing. That's the one agent I know nothing about.
Okay, that was the one. That was the one winners we missed. The others winners.
Let's go back to that.
Accent.
No, yeah, so we had that right. Now the other winners that we missed our last episode. DRX 100 Thieves. That's how any fanboys we cry.
I figured DRX was gonna win.
Oh, I saw it coming too, but like when they got to overtime, or like when I saw that Breeze match, I was like, wait, there's a chance.
Hopium.
But it was.
They won first round of it too. They were set up.
It went 18-16.
The problem is that 100 Thieves for whatever reason against DRX, like woke up really late. I thought that they had like gotten out of that phase, especially seeing them in LCQ. They looked really good. They did not look really good today. Or well, not today, but
a few days ago.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I doubt the Sage had much to do with it, but I know
I
like
think the Sage pick is fine.
what?
For-
Didn't say Sage. I said
Didn't say-
stage.
Sage? Oh, but
'Cause
did they
those-
use Sage on Pearl though?
They may have.
Yeah.
No, they didn't make it there.
No?
You're,
Okay,
you're
I'm thinking of the game before.
You're thinking
then.
of
My
the
bad.
Fnatic game, but
Yep, my
well, later. But no, I don't know. It seemed like Asuna was having a very off day, and that's a very big factor in their firepower. Luckily, like players were able to pick it up. Like Bang and Will had such an amazing series. That 1v2 Bang had, where he was back ladder, waited for Mako to come out A main or B main, and then just isolating those 1v1s. Oh, it was so nice watching. And again, like they're so drilled. I can't wait for that game in the next 2 days. It's gonna be such a good rematch. But in that moment, I'm happy they took it that close to DRX. Because the amount of experience that team has and how good they always look in groups is scary.
Yeah, like even if 100 Thieves like drop in losers, drop in groups here, like I would be happy with
it was
the
a very
results.
good performance.
Yeah.
Like no one should be disappointed in them, especially the group they had.
Yeah.
Also, Will popped off. Like
Like he just needs to do it one more time to get them through this, but
I don't even think he has to. If Asuna starts performing the way he does normally, and everyone else stays at a constant level, I think they're golden.
I mean I think so too. I'm just worried that 100 Thieves, this isn't the same roster aside from Asuna.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried that again they're gonna have the same problem they did facing Ascend in 2021. Jericho's gonna have the odd. Is your strat going to be run the other way or try and shove it down their throat? And obviously, again, new roster, different people, different ways to tackle the problem. Heal needs to find IGL, at least when he was with 100 Thieves. T1 is its own fucking story.
Well, ignore them. We don't talk about them.
They're whatever. They're on a weird trip. But do they have the ability to do something like that? I think Bang is fucking fantastic. I think I've never seen that kid ever play like shit. Except on TSM. But like I feel like TSM just
he was playing so many different roles on that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you can play well in that system, but no, every player on the team has been looking phenomenal, and like the ones that we were worried about, depth, fuck up this tournament. Like, I still like don't believe how it's like you have such a normal performance online, like it's not that crazy, but then on stage on LAN you just pop off. Like that just almost never happens. It's always the opposite. It's always people falling off, and
yeah.
I think it's amazing how Will's able to show it, whether it be just he feels so much comfortable on land or just the amount of work he put in between LCQ and here.
I would guarantee it's probably a mixture of both because like as somebody he's playing Chamber, he's playing Jet, having that the instant PP and the ability to have the confidence to swing like that is probably
helping
really, really good. But like, I mean, give any duelist with enough potential enough time on an organization willing to give you the support and time,
give you the system,
will get good. You will become a phenomenal player.
Thank you, Naicha, for giving this second Druid's chance.
Literally Asuna. Who is gonna believe in a kid from Immortals?
Yeah. And even Dicey, who was there for very few time.
I mean, Dicey was a Jet main before he switched to Chamber, but like it's Chamber Sky. But now he's looking really good as a player. I mean, it's unfortunate that 100 Thieves let him go, but he on phase he was given enough time, fostered enough time. Now it's not just the Baby Bay show; it's the Baby Bay Dicey show.
Yep.
And that's really something impressive because like being like, oh well, he's sharing the stage with Baby Bay.
That's impressive.
Think about the work Baby Bay had to put in to carry that roster before they blew up and reformed.
Oh, dude, it's
And
insane.
To be
And
called
now-
right next to Baby Bay, that is a real fucking improvement.
Like, it's not like other teams where you go, this is a star player, but if they fall off, this player will step up. It's both of them just at the same podium.
both
Just
of them
next.
are popping off constantly.
Oh, dude. What? That was the other team I was like kind of hoping to make it through LCQ. I was like, you know what? If I'll be sad for 100 Thieves, but also I won't be disappointed
Right.
because I know I assumed FaZe would do well. But damn, that 100 Thieves just looks nice. Sadly, the second map didn't go so well, but I think that's very much to do with no matter what was happening, whoever lost at OT. I think the way like how far it went, that was the decider.
It was
Yeah.
probably like drained them.
Yeah, like that. Oh,
It drained them, and it's such a tough loss. Like after like 16 rounds, 17, shit, 18, it's over.
Yeah, like I'm sure all of them were just thinking one mistake,
Yeah.
fix. Like, oh,
Cool, that's me, but like in every rank.
exactly.
Bro,
So, like-
it lives rent free in my head. I can't help it.
But I'm so certain. Certain they'll make the comeback. They'll bounce back, do very well against Fnatic. Not gonna say anything on the results.
Catcher's curse.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything, but
I
it will
can
be a
say-
very good game.
Yeah, it'll be a good game. I hope. I do hope it'll be a good game, but I think part of me is worried
About the
Good.
Durka show.
about the Turkish. Like, I think more of me is worried that the rest of Fnatic just isn't gonna show. I feel like Boaster is already having the same problem he had last Masters, where they have
quality.
trouble in group stages, and they're looking great all year,
But then groups
and
is
then
just
and then groups
They just-
comes around, and then all of a sudden they realize, oh shit, we got downloaded really hard between Masters whatever when they qualify, and now
just so many VODs of them, so many like the innovations like their icebox, like the triple senties. I think people have been saying for the past year is amazing idea for icebox, and it's been working very, very well, and teams have just been copying it. And so like and that was their big map, right? Like
Yeah.
that was their
But
I'm
now
not
everyone's taking
100%
the
sure.
finely tooth comb.
Yeah,
They went,
like-
how do I beat this?
yeah, like they're like there's only so much you can do with that comp, right? Like the moment you know the alarm bot's mid, you know where
Don't go
Alpha Year
there.
is playing,
Yeah.
right? Like you know where the other trip is, you know how they're playing. And so it was just a matter of time with people realizing how strong that comp is and how simple it is. It seems.
In theory, it seems super simple, but the way that they tried to play it off was it looked like they would play it really rotatey at first, and then halfway through the tournament, they swapped it over to just hard holding every site. 3 Sentinels, 1 site. Both their other players holding for retake A, push down long. They'd have like
It was called They Waited Till Durka Had Enough.
they waited till Durka had enough. And then all of a sudden they would go, okay, now we're back to rotating, and then they would just keep swapping it to
But-
make sure that the enemy couldn't get a good read.
right, and that kind of brings me to the conversation we had earlier. EMEA relies on their superheroes.
Why-
Sadly.
Why do we call like Scream the just carry of Liquid? We keep talking about Durka and how he's actually just better than everyone he tries to verse, but he doesn't. He tries to have a team that helps him.
And you look at FPX today, Artisan pop off the two maps they lost, but then the map they won, he dropped a 30.
Yeah.
Like,
Interesting.
dude,
If only I could answer this question with a superhero.
It's just weird because it's like
that felt so NA last year.
it
In my
did.
head.
It felt it really did, NA really felt like that, and I feel like
Mm.
I forget who said it. I watched like a stream clip 3 or 4 days ago, and I think it was Shazam.
Mhm.
He was like, I don't remember if it was Shazam crowd. They had said NA players, even in CS, historically had been more individually skilled players.
That was Shaz.
constantly. Was it Shaz?
That was Shaz.
They're more individually skilled players, and it's hard to control them in a game like CS where perfection and hot flash plays are like not a norm, but like they're harder to pull off. When you have a game built around supporting your superstars, and then the game supports your superstars in a way, like think about Chamber. That's a Sentinel. That's a character that shouldn't be a superstar carry. Well, in theory, a Sentinel shouldn't be a superstar carry. Chamber exists. Jet exists. Here's your get out of jail free card because you're insane. You know.
Yeah.
And then here's your whole team. Who's some of the best controllers right now? Bang, Marved.
And even like Sugar Zero from Zeta.
Yeah. Just like these insane controllers, right? You wouldn't think much of them, but they're coming up big every round, 2 or 3 kills. Why? Because you're getting rewarded for you're rewarding yourself with kills by setting yourself up with flashes, smokes, working in and out of the smokes that you set up for yourself. NA has reached a point where there is cohesion amongst these fucking insanely talented players.
You can think about it, all the minor regions being Japan, Korea, Brazil, the teams that are doing well are super teams. You can rely on every player to do well. If Cloud's in a match like an Optic, I don't need the star duelist Ospas to do things. I can just have Saucy getting 4K clutches. Like just the fade. Like yeah, like 2 clutches in the first 5 rounds of that fracture game versus Optic.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, if you were to tell me that Jing was having a bad day on Paper X, right? I'd be like, sure, whatever. They probably could still win.
Forsaken Sarah. Survival for something. Mind Freak will get some 1v4 clutch.
Mind Freak will just
Benkai
appear out of the shadows.
Hard reads on the enemy team.
Exactly. It's like it is to them. It's not a big deal. When I look at EMEA now, Green, Artis, Durka,
they don't get their 2-3Ks in a round, it's over.
Yeah.
Or the whole team, Fnatic or whoever, has to make a hard read on the play, or the other players have to go big.
Yeah, it feels so like, because it almost kind of feels like you're discrediting a team too, right? Because a hard read isn't necessarily Durka comes up with 3. The IGL got it, like the team narrowed it down and got it. But at the same time, it almost feels like hard reads don't feel rewarding in this game because you can audible so fast.
I mean, I think Sean Garris put it the best. This game has so many variables in every situation that you just can't account for. The fucking Sage can just appear and stand on their wall, and all of a sudden you're dealing with a new verticality.
SN8, SNB, it's just all of a sudden, hey, I heard Sage wall somewhere. Oh, window.
Oh, their window. They're like above the map, and I had no idea that you could even play that spot until like what, 4 months after.
Yeah,
because no one did it. It just appeared.
And then it's just weird because like I didn't really think about it much until this event with that type of stuff. You always Erica Scream. They are the big players, but I never really fully thought thinking about how if they don't get their 1 or 2 every round, other players have to go way too huge for it.
Tournament just kind of blasted that idea in the public square because they're like, yeah, look at your favorite team from EMEA. What do you know about them?
But it's even like last Masters, right? Like Copenhagen, I could see Enzo in a clutch in a 1v2, 1v3, and be like, he's winning this. And him do it. I haven't seen that. And if a lot of players I'd expect it from Liquid, from Fnatic, it just feels out of place out of the beginning of the year that they had, that they all look so promising.
I mean, I absolutely agree with that. I don't know what happened or what changed in play style, but it just feels like you'll occasionally get the 1v3 and then it'll feel like, wow, EMEA really is something special again.
Then it falls flat.
And then nothing happened. And like it's hard to look at the game objectively like that or like not objectively, but from a distance, and then separating yourself from the fact that, oh my God, Durka opened against
Furia.
Furia, ends the game on a 3K. It's
Yeah.
like, wow, he got a 3K, but the game was so fucking close because Durka got punished a lot.
Yeah.
There were so many rounds where Digson just held A lobby with an alt. There's no support util. There's 4 people A lobby. No flash from Mystic. No stun from Mystic. No
Like-
blast pack from Alpha here. No dog from Enzo. No smoke from Boaster. Like, it was nothing. Boaster Durka just dry swings. Easy pick for Digson.
It's just like, it's so jarring to think about how we thought about EMEA in year 1 of the game, even during First Strike, where we saw them playing after Brim kind of left the meta in year 1. They were playing Brim, and it kind of felt like, I guess they're using Brim because they're really coordinated on their executes and they're playing really well. But I don't know how it happened, but just seeing international teams have figured it out. They have broken it down. And that's just wild to me. Leviathan, boom, broken them down.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Just-
that was left field. That felt like straight left field.
I mean, think
like,
about Zeta earlier this year. Masters 1.
Bro, hearing all the talk about Zeta and be like, everyone was like, they're doing nothing. It's just another Japan team. And then just all of a sudden, out of nowhere, top 4. No, top 3, sorry.
Yeah. They tear apart these teams. And people would be like, oh, but EMEA had subs. But EMEA's the best region in the world.
Then their subs should be pretty damn
Then
good.
their subs should have slotted in pretty well. Again, I will always make the argument. Think about fucking Sentinels Masters 1 2021.
They had 10s.
They slot in 10s.
Or V1 with Jammies.
You won with Jamie.
Everyone thought they were going
performs.
last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes crazy.
They beat Liquid.
Like, it's just crazy to me.
Damn.
I had to make that call out.
You had to make that call. That's fair.
It's just crazy to me that people would say that about Masters this year and like discredit somebody like a team like Zeta. And I think Zeta was like one of the first teams to really do it, to dismantle EMEA so fucking hard.
It was impressive watching. And like there's a little bit of credit, right? Like for some, but like also like Fnatic, right? Like one of those subs was Enzo. I'm on the team. It was Liquid, and it wasn't even like Liquid had subs. They just were the 4th place team, and FPX couldn't make it. They did decent. G2 on the other hand had nothing. Like, you know.
Okay, I don't know what the G2 is.
No, but like G2 just fell out of nowhere, right? Like,
G2 showed up, got clapped last.
like it was.
Well, because they keep changing their IGL every.
Like
Four
G2
months.
doesn't know what the hell they're doing, but like, you know, G2's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with them. They bombed out. Like, it's just weird to see
Feels like they went from the most coordinated region
to the
to
uncoordinated.
looking like they're playing pugs.
Yeah, it's not wrong. Even like Mech.
Yeah.
There are just some games where they just make the same call up 10 times in a row, hitting their heads against a brick wall,
It's like,
hoping they can just diff the team.
yeah, they're just praying that like, oh, my star duelist is gonna come out here and
Bro,
fucking
it's
gift
literally
them.
the Sentinels fallout. Like just but for EMEA it's really like I don't want to get ahead of myself because there's still,
It could happen. It could.
you know, Liquid still has to go through Paper Rex, but there's a chance that they can make it through.
FPX have
FPX
crew.
have crew. Crew has shown that they can beat. They can be close to beating FPX. I think that, like I said earlier, they're going to be studying that XSET game really hard because obviously Crew showed that they can bleed, and XSET showed that they weren't afraid to run it down in their throat. Right?
Yeah.
Like there was nothing that they could do to stop XSET. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it was a 2-1, so the game wasn't.
It wasn't
Well,
like
Breeze is like the outlier here, but
Yeah.
so it was a close game.
Yeah, your EMEA still has a chance. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I just want to see them like show me something that I saw last year.
show me why you were the best.
Yeah, show me why your region is so fucking toxic. like
At
not
least
to
be good.
yeah, like if your fans are gonna be so toxic towards NA and like hop on the fucking NAE servers, being asked to rank players, and then bottom frag. Fuck you. By
Who
the
is he
way,
calling out?
very, very clearly, fuck you. But like, I just want to see.
I want to see more.
I was really expecting to see more, and that's not that's not to say that EMEA is playing bad as a whole, but it's just so drastically different than how they used to play.
It is. I will say there's definitely a good chance that two of the teams make it out of groups into playoffs. I don't know which it will be. I hope it's not. I hope more less EMEA just for NA bias, but also but like these games are mostly 50-50. Anything can happen. So it's just we gotta wait and see how the matches go. But we do only have 4 matches left in 4 groups. We have Daybreak for right now. For us, it's
It's today.
Technically it's the 6th today because we're 2 in the morning.
Right.
So we're breaking today. Then we have 2 games 7th, 2 games the 8th.
Right.
How do we think those are gonna go?
Paper X.
Oh yeah, so 7th are with Paper X Liquid, and then we have Zeta Loud rematch.
Please win. Listen, bro. I don't even care. Like, Paper X is gonna win. Like, Liquid, fuck them. I don't care. They need to blow up that team.
Yes,
like
the
team needs to disband now.
Team has talent, but whatever's happening with them is just not working.
Communication.
Probably.
It literally looks like Scream doesn't even talk to anyone anymore. I don't mean to be a dick, but when you look at their player cams, he is saying shit.
Yo, he looks like you.
Damn. Okay, so. Damn, okay.
Actually.
Yo,
Damn.
Josh and I are on a murder today.
So we're just
I'm
going
the
with
victim.
that. Joe,
To both of them.
I'm very sorry, but so moving on before the suite explodes.
I'm on watch.
I mean, I don't think you're completely wrong though, because it's like his IGLing just feels so off, and like the game against Boom, it was just very much
They dipped them.
Yeah, and then there's like the only times they didn't was just when Con just kind of went bananas, like that ace on bind, like that ace was
Who did
clean.
Liquid lose to?
Leviathan.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right. Yeah, that.
Yeah, a
that wasn't even
well-coordinated
close.
team.
Yeah, that wasn't even
Like
close.
a well-coordinated team that I don't want to say Liquid took lightly, but I want to say it a bit. Well, or like I'm sure they weren't thinking about them improving since Copenhagen because Leviathan did not look that good. And
I mean, to be fair, that was a brand fucking new team.
yeah, like it was very new. All rookies or blend.
Mostly.
You know what I mean? No,
Well, not necessarily mostly, but it was like new talent coming together, and then they have like one rookie and the coach from group.
Yep.
So
it was a shaky Copenhagen for them, and they shut us all up on that first match.
long story short, I think Paper X just.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it's close.
No, yeah, Forsaken and Jing just diff Scream, and even if not, I can trust the other 3 members to just make the right calls.
I don't foresee Mindfreak getting outgunned by
I was about to
any other
say.
player.
Mindfreak in the 1v4, they're gonna be like, oh god, guys, it's only one guy. We can all solo peek him. Like,
Dude, I'm so happy because damn, he was not good last year.
dude, this year though,
he stepped up. Yeah,
I love watching him play.
Again, top 5 controller.
Yes.
And like that's the other thing is like you can look at like other regions and go like top 5 controller, top 5 initiator. Like I can call Stacks a top 5 initiator. And more than likely, you two aren't gonna look at me like I'm an idiot.
I mean, I don't.
Right? Like you can look at the other regions and go, yeah, they're good. They have talent.
They do.
Mm-hmm. But back to the Liquid Paper X. Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard for Paper X, no matter what.
I mean, what Paper X goes Haven, runs it down,
Shuts them down.
Yeah, like it's. What are you gonna do? There's no way you can. There's no way you're going to be able to read what is going to happen, because it could be the raise
I
for.
think we should run it down the mouth.
But, like-
I agree. Yes, times 4.
But you know what I mean? Like we've already seen Haven twice from them, and already 2 separate cops being the Forsaken Chamber
Reyna.
comp or the Reyna Jet.
Can I say that was straight up just them being toxic?
It was
That-
them just
they're-
needing a confidence boost.
I was about to say they were just like, we need confidence. We're just gonna kill you with
Yeah.
Reyna.
So, but it's like no
We
way.
just kill you more than you kill us. You cannot win.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But realistically, Liquid's not going to be able to predict anything they do. I'm sure the map picks and bans are going to go haywire just because Benkai's just going to pull something out of his ass and just make some amazing calls.
Yo, my guys, I think we should go 4 initiators. Dude, trust me.
And somehow
Just
they'll
trust
make
me.
it work.
And somehow, and then he's gonna go Brim, right? And then there's gonna be fucking 4 flashes and
No,
the
no.
stem,
Did you
you know-
see? Did you see him during? Did you see him go Phoenix on Breeze?
Yeah.
Exactly. That man. So smart.
He's brilliant.
He's brilliant. But moving on.
Ah,
Moving on. Zeta Loud. I know you both have the Zeta Hopium. Like, or not even Hopium, but because it's
mean,
very possible in
it-
both teams.
Yeah, it's possible. I think Loud is probably
This, I think it's like a 55-45 for Loud.
I think Loud is probably
And
upset over the optic loss.
yes,
I think that they're like really
again,
upset about it.
like I said last episode, a fire is lit under their ass. Losing to Optic again burns it even more.
And then crashes. That's fucked up.
But it's just, I don't know, man. I think what it comes down for me is like I feel more confident in all the players on Loud than I do with Zeta.
I agree.
Like, so Joe, I'm gonna ask you this.
mhm.
Loud, like when you think of like Loud and Zeta, like can you like line up the players? Right here, let me pull it up for you, right?
Mhm.
Let me pull up the match for you so you can see the players, right? Here are all the players' names.
Yep.
You know, you can read them, you can listen, whatever. When you think of those names, what are the first 5 that come that like you read and go, yes, I know them?
Sugar Zero, Saucy, Aspas, Pro.
Interesting.
Yes, I was gonna
I
say
like
very
that.
interesting. Just because like, because you go Aspas, you know, the Star Duelist. You go
Yeah.
Saucy because I said his name earlier. Sugar Zero because I said their name earlier.
Sugar Zero's a controller. That's all I know about him, and I like him.
Okay, he knows that. But I don't know. It's with Loud. I feel like there's a lot more firepower on that team. I'm not 100% sure on like the calling. I'm still not at that level where I can understand it just from watching.
I think Loud has made. I mean, we were talking about it last episode with the optic game. Like, I think once they, I think Loud really broke down the moment optic was like, yo, they're like
Four seconds.
they're 4 stacking us. Like, they aren't playing retake ever. That's
Mhm.
the only reason that they won Fracture, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Like, they played a really shit retake. They played a really shit 4-stack. 5-stack on most rounds, actually.
Yeah,
Like, A was mostly free whenever they fixed the B.
because they were like, "Oh, we know your executes
It-
if we can read those."
Yeah.
And then they did.
And
nothing else.
so if Loud takes that same approach against Zeta, I hope that Zeta's coach was like, why did they lose? Why were things so different this time around? Just like on both sides of the coin. Oh. I hope he has like that epiphany where it's like,
It just all of a sudden makes sense.
it all of a sudden makes sense why Loud is struggling so much with optic. And I hope he has that epiphany. I hope the coach has that epiphany. Because I do think Zeta has the ability to do something.
I agree.
Here's
I think
the thing: they're gonna instantly ban Fracture though.
maybe I really don't
I mean,
know.
I don't think they will because I don't think Loud is like fantastic on Fracture. I think they challenged Optic to Fracture because they knew they tried counter striking the fuck out of them. Like that was the only reason they let Fracture get picked.
It's just because they know exactly what's gonna happen. They know the wall. They know the stun. They know exactly the calls.
Mhm.
It's just how do you counter? But I don't know. I think it just depends on how well Loud does as a team. because like their attack. I'm trying to just remember because it's been a minute since we've watched those games live play.
Yeah.
But Zeta's so good at controlling the place and slowing the other team down, just with how they play. Like their timings, their coordination. It's very nice and clean. And if
it's
Aspas starts to get ahead of himself, starts going a bit too quick, I think that's where they find a problem.
yeah. It is very simple. Nothing about what they do is complicated. Nothing about what they do is multi-layered. I mean, it's multi-layered. Like all their strats are multi-layered, but it's like it's not.
Not very complicated.
I'm not looking at Optic. I'm not looking at Paper X as much as everybody's like, oh, Paper X who runs it down. No,
There's thought.
There is a lot of reasoning behind what they do.
There's a reason why they run it down a certain way in a certain style. It is not just monkey.
Yeah, it's not. It may look like monkey, but it's not monkey.
That's just because Jing's a monkey.
Yeah, but like, it's simple, it's effective, and it gets the job done. And I think that Loud is going to try and take advantage of simple and clean versus, they're going to try and counter stress simple and clean. And there's a reason why simple and clean works.
Yeah. But I also think another factor is just that. I don't know. Guys, you keep going back to the heater. Like last match Zeta had, it felt very much Laz doing a lot of the heavy lifting with like Sugar Zero,
Yep.
10 being there.
But they played against Boom, right?
Yeah. And so it's
like, why are you gonna show your strats? I mean, sorry, but like
you're not wrong. So like that's probably part of it why I'm like a little hesitant on them. But I know they can show up, so it'll be a very good match.
To be fair, it is mildly unfortunate that Optic was around.
No, that's the other thing. No, it wasn't Optic. It was Loud. This is a full-on rematch.
This is a rematch, right? But
so it's what were the last maps? Ascent, Fracture, Bind. I think Ascent doesn't get picked. I think Bind doesn't get picked. I think it comes down.
It's gonna be another breeze game.
I think it's all three different maps. I don't know what maps.
I was about to say, then what maps?
I think. Oh, do I try and hard read this? Okay, let's see. I'm trying to remember if they have like insta bans.
I guess it'd be we'll see Pearl.
Yeah.
See Pearl, probably Breeze, and Haven. I actually really don't think Ascent's gonna get banned.
No.
I feel like if you're gonna try and do simple and clean, you might as well do it on a simple and clean map.
That's fair.
Where you're gonna counter strat them. Like Loud is gonna let them have Ascent. He's gonna let Zeta have Ascent and then try and counter strat. So, like, I don't know. What's Aspat's gonna do? He's gonna walk down B main on defense. And then you catch him?
Yeah.
Kill him and then move on.
We will find out in 2 days what those maps are.
Gotcha.
And even farther is the FPX crew. The Fnatic.
Vamos.
But so here's my question. Because again, another rematch for FPX. Crew started the map and the series with a 9-3 on Icebox. What do you think their mentals looking like going into this rematch?
Way better. I think if FPX didn't lose to XF, they'd be feeling like shit. Like if there was a world where Crew made it, XF didn't, XF drowns in pools, Crew makes it a bracket, and then somehow they play against FPX again, they're probably like, what do we do? How do we beat these guys?
But
XF wins, they're like, we can do it too.
They bleed.
Yeah, I think
there's
extremely possible.
There's hope.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, these guys are free as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Playing as MK Leo, like what?
It's so simple.
Just punish him on the edge for it.
Well, it's only Byleth.
It's literally only Byleth. He's bottom of tier list.
But that's my question is, again, then the next match they played versus Ocean, again, had a 9-3 lead on Icebox. We're able to hold it this time. So I'm pondering the thoughts of like what's gonna happen. Will they let the Icebox go through again? I feel like that Icebox was very much FPX low as shit, and then they just started heating up, and then Crew just like let them take a little too few rounds, or like falling asleep, realizing that and going, oh shit, let's make it back. But by then FPX already had the ball rolling.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that somewhat.
You think
I-
they just pick it for the?
No, I think Crew bans it.
Yeah, they
I
should
think
ban
Crew,
Icebox.
I think Crew
They
bans
should.
Icebox, just because like at this point they've seen Crew's banger strats on Icebox. They definitely
It's
don't
been
go
used
back.
too much.
Okay,
Unless they're feeling like big dick energy.
that's what I was
Which
thinking.
I
Or like that
appreciate,
there's
but, like,
no other map that they
Yeah.
feel comfortable on, yeah. But it'll be a nice rematch. It should be a lot better than their first match. That's what I'm really hoping for. It's just another 2-0. Like that second map, it just looked very flat. But again, like I've been saying all week, stop putting Kesnet on anything but duelists.
No,
Like,
What do you mean? His KO's great.
Yeah.
like
Sarcasm is KO's not.
yeah, like oh, dude, like we saw it last Masters, last Champs. He popped off against Sen because he was playing those duelists. He was entering for them. His rightfully, but like because he can't opt, they're not gonna put him on anything. Because Nax will just be there with an op, saving 3 out of 12 rounds, 4 rounds.
just save this off. I'll win this next.
Oh man, they have the talent, they have the potential. It's just been so long since I've seen something. I want to see more. Like, God, do I? But it's such a hard situation. It seems like. I don't know. It's again, who knows? Maybe they just have some banger shots on other 3 maps where again Kesnet just plays Duelist, Raze, and Jet, and then just pops off and carries the team.
I mean, it's not impossible. I think Crew can do it. I mean, do I really want them to do it? Of course I do. But I think that there is a very high possibility that they can. I would say that for every 4 out of 10 matches they play,
They'd win.
they'd win.
Yeah.
I think it is very, very likely.
Mhm. It's just about will.
Which is why I'm counter picking Aegis against Violet. And MKLeo, I'm sending him to lose.
Yes.
But no.
But I just hope that their mental stays high. That's would be my biggest worry in this position.
Yeah, I mean that was the real problem, I think, for them losing their coach and then the coach going to Leviathan. I think that coach I don't know what he does.
Neither do I, but like
But he's really good at structuring a team.
I think it's very much with the mental, like just realizing that in my head, like that's what it seems to be. Because there's no way you like do that with a team, leave, and then they just fall off.
Yeah.
Unless he was just like micromanaging everything.
I mean, I think it was a mixture of like micromanaging everything. Also, like whenever I look at him on like the coach's desk, he's so like into it.
So
He's
excited.
so excited.
He's passionate.
Like, yeah, having a coach just be like, "I'm out, guys. You guys are doing great. I know we're doing down right now, but you guys are looking good. We can
still
do
got
better."
this.
Like, and then provide the counter strat. Like, that's perfect. I think that's 100% why Sean Garrett is doing great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why that team's morale is so different.
Every time the cam's on him, just that clapping, just hype.
Just because he's just.
I
when
love seeing him jump back and like.
Yeah, when they lose rounds, I don't see Sean Garrett going like Chet. Right, Chet sits in his fucking chair like a child.
Paper
He
Rex
goes-
is whenever he just like Paper Rex's coach, you'll just hear him just scream a player's name.
Yeah,
He's, like,
when
pissed.
I'm watching Zeta's coach, he's going, "Let's go!" Like, I don't even think he coaches. I don't know.
No.
He's just a cheerleader.
He's just happy to be here, man. Like,
But it's
but like,
that coach is so helpful. Just Crew losing that sucks, but it is what it is. Keep the mental high, and they will make it a close game, and hopefully just be able to edge it out. And now, back to Fnatic Under Thieves. I mean, we've already talked about it a
We'll
lot
talk
this
about this one a
episode.
lot. Just in general.
But so like let's keep this quick, right? Like
prediction.
100 Thieves.
Let me think. I've been thinking about this like a lot.
I'm just pissed because like I had it the other way around, where Fnatic win the first match and then 100 Thieves get the run back because of the Sean Garrett spot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that really.
I think that still applies here.
I think it does. And I want to say it, but it's just like in the back of my head. I'm just like Fnatic just haven't looked good. So if they just all of a sudden,
Pop off.
like all of them just start going, this isn't our normal play style. We need to fix this. Like if like because today Mini did not look happy. Did not look happy against when they were playing Furia. And like I'm sure he's pissed and is like, we need to fix shit now. So like I'm just wondering how much effort and how much push the team goes through, and if they're even able to fix any of those problems.
The issues comes down to you can't really fix it. You can fix it.
But yeah,
But
it's not so much strats, it's more just their gameplay in general. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think I'm gonna have to say 100 Thieves. Just knock on wood without actually knocking because then the mic audio will get fucked. So this is what I'm doing.
fair enough.
There's
At
wood,
the
under,
couch.
there's wood under it. It works.
You're an idiot.
Here, there's a chair.
There you go. That's fair.
Justin?
All right. I think Fnatic wins.
But understandable.
I think right now there's a lot riding on 100 Thieves making it into top 8. There's a lot. 100 Thieves made it. They were looking good. Have close game against DRX. And right now they're the only NA team who have not made top 8. There's a lot of pressure riding on them. Even though they should be proud of themselves, there's a lot of pressure riding on them. So I don't know if the players are going to show up like they have been. I am expecting, and I would bet like $5 on it. Like it's not a lot of money, but I'd bet $5 that Durka tears them apart. That Durka and Mystic are going to absolutely shatter them. I think Fnatic will play like ass.
But those two
in specific are going to want their run back so fucking badly that they're going to tear them apart. The games will be relatively close, 13-8, 13-7, 13-8 probably, something along those lines. Maybe one overtime. But I don't see a world where 100 Thieves is prepared for how hyped these guys are for their run back. Even if they played like ass today, which they did, they have 3 days to sit there, meditate, do whatever they got to do to get their minds in the right
18
place.
hours of 8 months.
Yeah. And then get ready for this game. And yeah, 100 Thieves has had more time. Sure. But how are they going to prepare for the problem? I don't know.
We'll find out
until
the match happens.
I really do believe Sean Garrett could do it, but this team is still too young.
I was gonna say, I think Garrett knows what's going to happen.
No, I mean I absolutely agree, but I think the team is way too young.
I think the only thing I disagree with you is just the amount of pressure on them. Just because, like we said earlier on, they've done it outstanding.
Well, I mean,
amazing.
I think,
but I get what you mean.
It's more pressure on themselves at that
yeah,
point.
It's not the pressure from the coaches. I don't even think it's the pressure from the organization. 100 Thieves is a very competitive organization, and I mean, if I were them, I don't know if I'd be worried about the roster blowing up, especially after again star performances from Will, Stellar.
They should be fine.
I
pray it's fine.
I'm praying it's fine because if they do not, no, okay. DDK and Sean Garrett, I'm gonna knock on wood. I hope to God that they don't let. I mean, 100 Thieves usually is hands off. with their teams.
Hmm.
The LCS their LCS team general manager implodes their team every fucking split.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the way he handles it, but they produce results. Valorant is a different esport. Let the players foster, get better, and I think DDK and Sean Garris understand that.
They've seen Dicey.
They've
They've watched Asuna.
They've watched Asuna grow. If they let these guys grow, they can become the next Optic. I'm a firm believer in that.
Even like other teams, like you look at Second, Cryo, like they aren't here. Like Cryo isn't here without Thor giving him a chance, giving him a place to grow, and then Xset again taking him, building even more structure around him, and taking the year to grow. Xset was what, 4th, 5th place team in NA, now in top 8 in the world. You wouldn't have predicted this. You wouldn't have predicted this. I wouldn't have predicted this.
I mean, I thought Zekken and Crow were really good. I thought BTJ was having a really tough time this year, but like,
you wouldn't have.
No, I agree. I definitely would not have called them top 8 in the world. But now here they are,
proving us all wrong,
mopping the floor with FPX,
making us all look like idiots.
They made FPX look trash.
Oh, dude, it was bad.
It was bad. So pressure from Hunters rides on themselves, and I mean, NA fans, EMEA to lose.
Like we've been saying,
like
knock them out.
Yeah, I want EMEA to personally lose. I want them to become a better region, not necessarily not just, but your fucking attitude.
What? So, from everything we've said, here's what the bracket should look like: DRX, FPX, Leviathan, and Zeta, Optic, and Paper X, then Xset, and like 100.
Fucking whoever makes it's in.
Dude,
Like,
I die every time.
What is it? Who was? I think it was the XSET coach who said, "Oh yeah, I'm just playing Optic again. Woohoo! I want to keep going to these Worlds fucking tournaments."
Yep. It's fun. It's so much fun. But I don't know. I know there's never a perfect way for these brackets, but like how 3 of them.
Well, it's just crazy how like they can, because they seed these brackets on the as the matches are happening. So it's crazy how you can look at them and be like,
yeah, this is fine.
Like my whole thing, right? If NA gets 3 teams in, they have like one in at least the top.
I mean, isn't that literally what happened to EMEA? It happens every fucking Masters.
But no, all of the NA players are gonna get weeded out really early, and then it's gonna be a one team. It's gonna be like fucking FPX or one NA team just sitting there, and it's gonna be like, "Fuck, did we get here?" There were 3 NA teams, and they all versed each other. What fucking boring shit.
I mean, like, I guess if there was a good thing to take from this, like,
there's a double bracket.
There's 2 brackets. NA has a 75% chance to make it to winners finals, and an NA team has to make it all the way through losers to get to grands, and that's not a bad thing, but it shouldn't be the case where all 3 of them are on the same side, and that's dumb. It's silly. It's dumb. They didn't think it out. I've seen more Smash majors, like, again, like, adjust the bracket because for top players, because they don't want Fargo and MK Leo, showing up from Mexico and playing each other in top 64. It just doesn't happen. And like, granted, they're 1 and 2 seeds, so they're probably already opposite side of the bracket. But like in similar cases, it happens all the time. And granted, Smash is not Valorant, but in League this doesn't fucking happen. I mean, again, NA never makes it to outer groups, but like, CS doesn't happen.
That doesn't. Way.
Rainbow Six doesn't happen. Why is it happening?
Fuck you. That's why.
Riot, hire me.
I agree. Riot, hire this man.
And this man.
Maybe. I do want to see what the hell they do with their brackets, because every time I'm like,
You should be in the analyst desk, but you know,
Thanks.
we'll find out.
Anyways,
Anyways, let's
That's-
see.
I was gonna say this.
We have reached our hour and 5 minute mark.
did reach hour in 5 minutes.
Another hour. I don't know if there's anything else to really talk about this week and tonight. We went through all the matches, most of the matches, all the teams, did our Preds, bracket. Anything else we are able to talk about tonight? You have something back of your head?
No, the only other thing I had written down as my fancy dancy conversation starter is the BCJ story. I don't know if you guys watched that video.
Mm-hmm.
Thought it was. You didn't watch it.
I'm gonna go do that after.
Yes.
I think you should. It's a very, very nice documentary that they did. I think it's definitely worth watching. And I think I don't know. It's hard to say that I feel inspired, because I mean I do. Yeah, I feel inspired, watching that, knowing that he lives the way that he does,
And is able to
plays
do
at
this.
and is able to do this, and that's
Insane.
like crazy. And it's just so crazy that Valorant has so many of these players like that. Not everybody in the league is like BCJ, but they come from these different backgrounds and all this kind of stuff, and that's wild to me that somebody like that can be insane at the game. And again, like I said, it's hard for me to feel inspired without just empathetic, I guess. But seeing that, I'm like,
It's like, damn, if you can do it, how the fuck am I gonna?
if you can do it. And I talked about this the first episode. Esports has a very, very young lifespan.
Audience.
Young audience. But esports players have a very young lifespan. You're probably retiring at 25.
Yeah. Going to content creation.
Going to content creation.
No, Vanessa's here. Angels, yeah.
What do you mean? Vanessa is the greatest streamer of all time. You could retire right now and have more views than Tarek and Shroud combined.
Fuck.
LCQ, baby.
Yes, sir. But seeing it and seeing somebody like Shroud do so well, gives me the slightest bit of hope that maybe one day, by some slim chance,
We'll make it there.
we could make it there, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we grinded hard enough and gave enough of a shit. I just kind of wanted to talk about that and just how it made people feel, because I didn't know if you guys had watched it.
Yep, I had watched it. It's a nice story and not what I expected from the production for the videos for NA.
Yeah.
Because last year's and the other two were very much just very
to the
simple.
players.
Yeah, talk to the players. But that was very deep and touching. I thought that was very nice. Something, and I'm happy BCJ was even yes, let's go for it.
I'm glad that they chose BCJ.
Yes.
I couldn't think of a better player to really
Exactly.
represent just the North American grind in general. I mean, but what can you say? It was really, you really should watch. After this,
Yeah.
go ahead and watch it. But
You people watching this,
it really was. It was really touching to see somebody go through so much and then have their parents, even backing them behind this. His parents seemed really nice. It was really cool. I hope that when you guys watch it, you guys feel inspired not only to grind Valorant, but
work towards what you want.
Work towards what you want and get through life struggles.
3 a.m. grind.
No. Fuck.
And that's no, we're grinding this. That's it for tonight.
3 a.m.
Okay.
grind,
If I'm
baby.
grinding, right? If I'm grinding for multiple hours a day, I'm starting in the afternoon and I'm going into the evening. That's
Time for the 3 a.m. grind.
Make sure this idiot doesn't do that. But anyways, I think that's gonna wrap it up for tonight's video. Thank you all very much for watching and tuning in. Hopefully these start to get not. Hopefully these aren't as scuffed as we move on. They will be. I just am huffing way too much copium. But that's all for us. Hopefully we stay semi-consistent.
That is.
Have a good night, everyone. What did you fucking send, dog? God damn it.